Alright, everyone. We're back streaming my most questionable stream format, which is to say, of course, the lo-fi power wash stream. Because again, there is always a chance that these are not actually stream-friendly playlists that I'm putting on. And that would be a real problem. So today's playlist is Twitch Safe Lo-Fi Music for Twitch Streamers, DMCA-free beats by Chill Select is the name of the lovely person who has put these on Spotify. And we're gonna hope, as always, that they're not lying about these being stream safe. I think because it's a good morning, I'm feeling good about this morning. We're gonna start with I've scrolled down. We're gonna start with the song "Funky Sunrise." I've randomly decided. Well, all right. I don't know if I would call this sunrise. I would call this more mid-evening heist music, but okay. Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna get started with it. We're gonna clean this treehouse. We are cleaning the treehouse for a Bigfoot believer. Pranksters come out here, hollering unearthly noises and chucking stinky mud around. Do you really think it's teenagers? I think. I'm not gonna spoil the plot of this level, but I think Bigfoot might be egging your house, dude. Now, first of all, I know for a fact there's a cat poster over here. That is one of the many missing cat posters that are just kind of hidden around in this game. Not all of them are immediately visible, like from within the bounds of the level, and I'm not quite sure why that is. Igfoot? Ugfoot. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Gub. Alright. So we have our scaffold over here. I'm wondering where our ladder is, because I would like our ladder so I can just go up these stairs and, like, go all the way up to the roof. No ladder in that van. Have they just not given me a ladder for this job? Well, all right. You know, I've never been one. Oh, they fucking put them up here for some reason. Who put these up here? Is it Bigfoot? I thought it was Bigfoot. Anyway. We don't yet have enough money for the next tier of power washer, I don't think. Yeah, it's gonna be a $5,000 power washer, so soon we will live in that glorious future because we haven't bought any of those disgusting soap nozzles. I gotta say, the forests of Muckingham are really quite beautiful. Like, we've got that fucking waterfall over there, and that's a good waterfall. Like, there's a lot of waterfalls that when you get to them, they're kind of boring to look at, but like that's a waterfall with like a little overhang, and like it's going heavy. It's not like a little cowardly waterfall, you know? Buckingham has some really nice forests. I kind of understand why everyone's willing to live next to the active volcano. Not, you know, entirely, but I understand a little. I don't think I can get that gnome down. I think he's probably trying to relax over there. That looks like a gnome hammock if I ever saw one. I gotta say, this playlist is immediately winning my favor for not being too busy. The melody lines of a lot of these songs haven't been terribly active so far, which means I don't feel like they are sort of competing with me. Wait, why would making the volcano more active help any of my problems? One of my problems is that the volcano is active and it's going to kill us all. Are you suggesting we, like, blow out the volcano? Or are we just making it more active to see what happens? Gup, why have we decided that we're at war with the people of Muckingham? Inert the planet! Gub, no! We are not going to fire the atmosphere off of the planet into space. We've already talked about this. Do you need to charge, maybe? Whenever you get whenever you get hangry, you start talking about sucking the mantle out of the planet like a big fruit. I gotta say, I'm really not a fan of the rust. I don't think power washes are necessarily qualified either to clean shingles or rust. Like, from my very cursory understanding of power washers, using them on shingles is actually really bad, because you can, like, puncture the webbing that's underneath the shingles, and that can make it so they have to tear up the entire roof. And you can power wash rust off of things, but I'm pretty sure that also will eventually put a hole in it. Like, you need either some incredibly high-pressure water, or you're gonna have to be blasting sand at some point. And I know there's no sand coming out of this thing. The album art of this current song is, Duckling. I just thought you'd all like to know. What you could use a pressure washer for other than cleaning things. I feel like they probably have, like, uses other than cleaning things, like non-jokey uses. Because, you know, anyone can blast a hole in a watermelon using a pressure washer. That's nothing interesting. But I feel like a pressure washer has some undiscussed uses that we're just not seeing. Like, does a firefighter's hose count as a pressure washer? Are we gonna count that? Because that's one use of pressure washers that I'm a big fan of, you know? Putting out fires. I know they make anti-fire grenades that apparently just blast a bunch of high-pressure water at the fire in the hopes that, like, snap creating a vacuum will help put out the fire better, I think. The average pressure of a fire hose is compared to a pressure washer. Grime types: dust, dirt, ooze, fire, apparently. Well, that's the thing. Fire can create all sorts of interesting oozes and gunks. Like, there's this one phenomenon when there are house fires where polyester will get heated up, and it'll actually start basically boiling into separate polarized particles of plastic, basically. And then over time, those will actually drift together and start to accumulate charge. And what you'll get over time are these really big, like, sticky black soot spider webs. Yeah, like ash cobwebs. And when you touch them, they apparently just disintegrate back into, like, incredibly sticky ash. So you have to get, like, special people with electrostatic cleaners to deal with them, because when they clean them up, they have to, like, de-electrify them to get them off of surfaces. Otherwise, they just have to paint over them. It's really interesting how much of human furniture really just turns into liquid accelerant when, like, exposed to hot enough fire. A lot of, like, the innards of couches and stuff in a house fire will just turn into liquid petroleum. Like, in the Victorian and Edwardian period, a lot of British furniture was just made out of foams and polyester fibers that when they heated up, they would just turn back into really, really sticky napalm. Sorry, a certain lazy boy explodes. Sorry, my simulated dad and I used to sit on a lazy boy recliner. What model of lazy boy was the one that exploded? Whenever I sat on that lazy boy, I got kind of creeped out because, like, lazy boys, I don't know if y'all know this, I don't know why, but one of their internal mechanism systems just has a bunch of coil springs, kind of like the ones that hold up the basket at a grocery store, and they creak when you sit on it a certain way, and I don't know what they're for. Like, I'm sure they do something important to the function of the chair, but I'm going to turn this down, but I have no actual fucking idea what they're supposed to do to the function of the chair. Like, all I know that they do is they make creepy groaning noises when I sat on the chair. And I could see if you heated those up, like they might somehow tense up and explode and shoot through me like a small missile. Oh my god, there were pneumatic lazy boys? That seems really dangerous. That seems like if you sat on it wrong, it might shoot a metal rod up one of your orifices. That's incredible. But that seems like a chair-shaped bomb. Like, that puts me in the mind of something from the 50s, I think it was. It was a gas-powered pogo stick, I kid you not. They literally, because nobody gave a shit back in the day, you know, they literally strapped a one-cylinder butane engine to a pogo stick, and it was actuated by you jumping on the pogo stick. So every hop, there would be this ungodly bang sound, and then you would get the firing of a single-cylinder engine to launch you into the air. And the great part was the exhaust was at, like, shin height. So apparently if you stood on the thing wrong, it would just blast bits off of your knees. Yeah. No, like, the exhaust was just there to literally injure your child. I really love that era when, like, we were just kind of figuring out, like, lighter fuel and uranium and all of that stuff. Yeah, no, it was awful. Like, the reason it actually, like, damaged people was because the exhaust was basically aimed at your legs if you stood at it wrong. And even if you stood on it right, some of the exhaust backsplash could still hit you. It was pretty awful. But there was just kind of this era when we didn't really understand, like, that explosives and uranium and petrochemicals and all that stuff were bad and, like, could be dangerous. Like, we had just learned how to sort of synthesize chemicals en masse, and it was still genuinely, like, a miracle from on high to most people. Like, we still had Monsanto in Disney World talking about the wonders of artificial fibers and stuff. And so you just have these chemistry kits that unironically had, like, fistfuls of uranium dust in them, and it's like, hey kids, put this uranium dust inside of this glass globe and heat it with a blowtorch and you'll get to see it fluoresce under blacklight. And it's like, cool, how much gamma is that giving off? Well, the chemistry set doesn't say. I can tell you it's more than a zero amount of gamma when you have radium and uranium just sitting around in children's science kits. Ah, yes, the correct way to sit on the butt demeter for human meat butts. Yeah, that's the thing. Even in concept, it doesn't seem like a very particularly safe thing, huh? It's funny too, because when it's actually going, like I've heard this thing demonstrated by a YouTuber for clickbait, basically. And when it's going, it sounds like the world's slowest lawnmower because it's relying entirely on you jumping down on the pogo stick in order to actually compress the fuel in the chamber. So it just goes like a bang, bang. And it's not even like a shotgun pumping, like it's a wetter chuck than that. Like it's a really wet noise. And it's almost like a gentle puttering because of the way that the engine is set up. But it's so hilariously dangerous despite how cute the puttering noise is that I feel like it was made to sound that way to sort of throw parents off so that they would sacrifice their children to the butane gods. Cringe engine noises from my failed children's toy. Yeah, I want to see someone put nitrous through one of those things. I bet it would be very, very funny. I bet nothing bad would happen. I mean, as long as we're thinking about, like, alternate forms of transportation that are hilariously dangerous, I mean, there are adults who will ride a mono wheel. You ever see a mono wheel? If you're watching this and you don't know what a mono wheel is, do yourself a favor and look up a mono wheel for a vehicle that really asks you a question. And that question is, are you willing to ride or slide on your taint? Because if a mono wheel fails, just take a second to look it up, actually. I'll just let you look it up. We'll just power wash. If a mono wheel fails out from underneath you, right? At best, you are going to get to test the marketing claims of your cup. Sorry, I've watched a human mono wheel to a weed store without a helmet across a 4-lane road for the past 6 months. The mono wheel is such a statement because the mono wheel, but like it's difficult, right? Because I understand at the end of the day, I understand one of the many human difficulties, and it's that they need to get places faster. And if you don't want to own a car, you don't have many options. You can run everywhere, and running everywhere is going to make you tired. You could get like an electric scooter, or you could rent an electric scooter, but the problem with that is that most people on electric scooters are assholes, and if you rent an electric scooter, a lot of them don't abide by the traffic laws and are, again, assholes. And in a lot of places, like there aren't scooter lanes, there aren't bike lanes, it can be very dangerous to actually try and commute around on one of those devices. So you can get, what? The motorcycle? Well, I don't know. The motorcycle seems a little bit dangerous. I don't want to be on the highway with a motorcycle. And you know, like that's the thing. I don't necessarily want a bicycle to be in the bike lane because if push comes to shove and I need to keep pace with like cars or something, like I need to pull into the main lane and keep pace with cars. I don't want to be that person trying to keep pace with cars in the main lane because the bike lane ended 300 feet ago, you know? So, like, the mono wheel is a solution, Because, like, a motorcycle, you might be expected to actually use the motorcycle in the center of the road, and you'd be an asshole if you'd use the motorcycle in the bike lane. Like, that's not really what the bike lane is meant for. The bike lane is meant for bicycles, not necessarily, like, motorcycles, right? But with the mono wheel, you can ride that mono wheel in the bike lane. No one's going to really look at you twice because you're the weirdo riding a mono wheel. And a mono wheel, I think, registers to most people in the same class of vehicle as, like, the unicycle. But if you ride that in the middle of the road, you're probably going to be able to gun it to at least keep pace with the cars because that's got, like, a go-kart engine in there, right? And go-karts can get to the point where they're street legal. And I imagine there's not going to be too many, like, super heavy people taking the mono wheel and keeping it from getting street legal speeds, you know? That's a very niche concern. Wait, what? Hang on, there's a reason the human longboard is popular. The longboard is okay, but the longboard relies on you learning how to longboard, and what if you fall off the longboard and hurt your knee? Also, you lose balance if you go fast on a mono wheel. But, like, what's the top speed of a mono wheel? Like, I know you're not gonna get that thing to highway speeds, but I think you can probably, like, it's probably gonna get you through anywhere where there's not a bike lane, right? Am I overestimating the power of a mono wheel? Like, I want a method of transportation. Oh dear. PowerWash simulator? Huh. Wow. I think this is the first time that PowerWash simulator has ever crashed on me. 25 miles an hour. See, yeah, I don't think that that's gonna annoy too many people if you have to, like, cut across, like, a slow intersection, you know? You're not gonna make it out on the highway, obviously, but, you know, you're not gonna piss people off either. I don't think. You know, you can find another bike lane. I don't know, there's just something about the mono wheel. It seems like a better stopgap solution than a motorcycle. I mean, I guess there's the boosted bike, but the boosted bike also has the problem of, like, your leg will be right up against the engine again, sort of like the gas-powered pogo stick. Like, the gas-powered pogo stick is way more dangerous than the boosted bike. But, like, if you get, like, a two-stroke bike kit or something, that's a two-stroke engine right between your legs, mounted on a bicycle. But as I was saying before the game decided to freeze on me, like, what I actually think humans need is, like, a motorized version of, and this is gonna be a deep cut, a deep pull. It's gonna be hard, all right? It's gonna be conceptually difficult for some of you to remember. You remember that one scooter that was also a skateboard? It was like a scooter with handlebars, but the wheels were like 3 inches wide, and like the actual the board part of it was wide enough that you could stand on it with your feet side by side. If you were around in the 90s, if you've ever thought about the 90s, you know what I'm talking about. You can envision the thing that I'm talking about. They need to make that, but they need to make it fast, and they need to make it not cost so much money, because they're always so expensive whenever you get the boosted skateboard scooter. Like, they get into Segway territory, and the guy who founded Segway died on a Segway, which I think is a pretty good case in point against Segway's safety, you know? We've got to figure out a way to get humans going where they're going faster. I feel very passionately about this issue, that's all. humans deserve more time in their day, and I think one of the ways that humans get more time in their day is by just getting places faster. Also, I mean, monowheels might not be made for rough roads, but quite honestly, what a vehicle is other than, like, trucks, you know? I think we really can't make a consideration of rough roads if bikes are on the table, because I'm not one of those people who's willing to trial bike to work, you know? I'm not willing to learn how to ollie and stoppie on a bicycle just so I can get to work. So if the road gets too rough for me, it's going to be a non-starter anyway that you slice it, you know? Like, at worst, I'll handle, like, you know, some dirt with, like, a handful of gravel every dozen feet or something like that. These window frames are a real pain, I gotta say. Come on, window frame. Yeah, jump. Get that bump. Come on, there we go. I guess there's also the motorized unicycle if you hate yourself. I didn't consider the normal unicycle because in my mind that would make me a unicycle person, and I would rather be a motorized unicycle person than a unicycle person, just on principle. Sorry, unicycle people. You're not really cool enough to justify the amount of work that goes into learning how to ride a unicycle. Like, unicycles are cool, don't get me wrong. I think they are, in fact, cool. But unless you're, like, a unicycle performer who does clownery tricks on a unicycle, I think it's a lot of effort to go to for something that's not as cool as it could be. Yeah, if you can juggle on a unicycle like a clown, excellent. Like, if you perform on the unicycle, like if you play the bagpipes, if you can JoJo pose on the unicycle, like, you gotta do something on the unicycle, I think. That's what really sets unicyclers apart for me, you know? You gotta have some extra gimmick to really justify the unicycle. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting all of our time. I can go see a clown at the Ringling Brothers if I want. You don't need to be showing me that on the street. I'm coming for all non-professional unicyclers this stream. This is an open fucking challenge. Come fight me. Come to space if you ride a unicycle and want an ass kicking. You know, maybe it's just because I remember the late game of this game a lot more, but I do honestly remember this whole forest lodge being a lot more annoying to actually clean the grime off of. I'm wondering if it's because I managed to mismanage my money so badly last game I had the previous level of washer or something. Because this definitely feels a lot easier than I remember it being, but I might also have just played this a long time ago. have any opinions on the music this time. It's just kind of been there. Maybe that's why I should be playing video game music instead. At least it gives me, like, thoughts about Waluigi to give you all. This is just some okay funk. I'm alright with that. I don't know if I could actually handle Wario Golf upon a second appraisal situation. Do you think there have ever been any unicycle-themed criminals? Never mind, we gotta talk about Bigfoot. Hang on, we're being texted about Bigfoot. Yeah, give me the facts, Hunter. Give me what you think are the facts about Bigfoot. Because let me tell you, I know all of the facts about Bigfoot. I was the one who made Bigfoot in a tube in my lab. That's right. You heard it here first, folks. I am the macabre creator of fucking Bigfoot. Also, sorry, did I say Wario Golf? I meant Waluigi Golf. Waluigi is the golfer of the two of them. Wario, as we all know, is much more into polo and lacrosse. He's also a world-class Eskrima knife fighter, but they don't have any games about that yet. Bigfoot golf. I don't think you could really squeeze enough of a gimmick out of Bigfoot golf to actually make a good video game. I feel like golf games now either have to be really, really into making golf boring, or they have to have a gimmick. Like golf with your friends, you know, it's golfing with your friends. Super efficient golf is golf, but you're doing it with time delay trip mines. Yeah, you can get to golf without anyone seeing you. Now, okay, hang on a minute. You're actually, I think you might be onto something there. So, like, how much of the golf mechanics are there gonna be here? Or is this more of a stealth game where, because I'm imagining right now, like, sort of an untitled Goose game where, like, you're trying to sort of Rube Goldberg a golf ball into a hole in order to play a game of Bigfoot golf. You know, I'm actually reminding myself I do have some golf games in my backlog that I could probably pick up after I'm done here. They're interesting golf games, I swear. I would never make you all watch me play a boring golf game. I honestly don't understand people who genuinely believe in Bigfoot, I gotta say. Like, he's just one of the pieces of sort of American folklore that I have always just deeply felt was not real. Like, there's some American folklore, and there's a lot of folklore that I feel is probably real, or at least could be real. But, like, Bigfoot and, like, true Bigfoot believers always come off as a little bit annoying to me. Like, they want so badly for Bigfoot to be real that they'll be shitty to actual experts and people who know things about biology. And I think that that's just a bad form as a conspiracy theorist in general. Like, if you have the kind of conspiracy theory that requires you to be rude to experts, it's probably a bad one. Or, like, you're probably going about it in kind of a rude way. firmly believe Bigfoot was in fact just a regular guy. Like a guy in a suit, or like just a guy that happened to get caught on that 8mm film that one time. Like, what do you mean by Bigfoot was real? Do you mean guy in a suit, feral human, what, like a living mutant skunk ape? What do we mean here? Okay. Just a really hairy guy that got caught on film. I mean, that's the thing. One of the most predominant theories is that it was just like a Chewbacca costume that someone caught on undercranked, like smudgy 10mm or something. But yeah, it could have also just been an incredibly hirsute man that they were just filming. Could we start a rumor that it was what happened to DB Cooper? Does the timeline match up there, or was DB Cooper too late after that footage emerged? Because I think it would be very funny if we started a rumor that after DB Cooper came down out of the airplane, he hid in the woods as Bigfoot, as the skunk ape. When do you go from calling DB Cooper a cold case to a closed case? Do they still consider the DB Cooper case open? Like, officially? I know that there are people who are still obsessed with the guy, and probably will be for the rest of, like, time. Is the DB Cooper case still open? Okay, it's considered closed. Do they officially think he just disappeared? Like, what was the reason for case closure that they do we have an official reason for closure? Oh, confirmably too old to be alive? Damn it. That's no fun. I feel like fewer games need to have the twist to be like snake people or whatever, because that's anti-Semitic. And they need to have more twists be like, it was DB Cooper. Like, the leader of the Templars in Assassin's Creed, it's DB Cooper. The holder of the final piece of the Apple of Eden, also DB Cooper. The thing behind the hatch in Lost, DB Cooper. More twists where it was Bigfoot. I mean, they have that one horror game where instead of Bigfoot being like a passive, friendly thing, it's a big, dangerous monster. Is that a twist? Is being reverse hunted by Bigfoot a twist? In fact, do you think you could fight Bigfoot if you needed to? Like, if push came to shove, could you defend yourself against big feet? I don't think I could. I think it would be like defending myself from a gorilla. I don't have that power. I am but a humble slime girl. Bigfoot is the shadow government. Well, I'm gonna need you to look at this little silver stick over here. It's from the movie Men in Black. It's gonna explain some things to you real quick, because you know too much. I know of a couple of games where the twist ends up being that, you know, the plot gets cut short because everyone figures out they're in a video game, but like, I've yet to find a game where the plot gets cut short because a Bigfoot shows up and everyone decides to focus on that instead. Do we want it to be like a full, involved, explained story twist, or are we just talking like a joke cutscene like the Silent Hill dog ending? Because I think a lot of games could benefit from a dog ending, but a Squatch ending would be just as good. I really think the twist for this new game is that Bigfoot isn't behind it, but the regular government insists they are the shadow government. It'll be a double twist. Well, I mean, I don't think Bigfoot's responsible for the active volcano. Dear God. No one can know. If word got out, there'd be a panic. People would flood into this forest looking for Bigfoot. Or worse, the government would shut the forest down looking for Bigfoot to cut apart and experiment on. You guys know it has to be this way. Anyone watching this stream, you are now bound to secrecy. You haven't taken a vow of secrecy. I am vowing you to secrecy. That's how important it is. I made up a new verb for what I'm doing. You can't prove that was a regularly sized foot. That's a big foot to me. I don't have toes. Talking about Bigfoot on Instagram. That sounds like the premise of like a really annoyingly twee modern fantasy comic. Like, Bigfoot is secretly a metaphor for how the author has imposter syndrome over their wildly successful webtoon that has been optioned for a Netflix short animated series. And like the fourth panel of every single comic is just a bunch of logos that click through to their DeviantArt and like their webtoon where you have to pay for a daily pass in order to read the new updates. Malarkey. Sorry, were you tweeting at Joe Biden about Bigfoot? Joe Biden doesn't want to hear about your feet. Come on. I don't mean to get political, but Joe Biden doesn't want to hear about your feet. Andrew Yang, though. Andrew Yang would love to hear about your feet. Don't tell him about your feet under any circumstances. Alright, circle the house once this way to get all the gunk. And never mind, I'll get an early ding so I don't even have to... I can just focus on the trim instead. Take that. Ding. I will say, a lot of the achievements for Power Washer Simulator are actually kind of difficult. There's stuff like, there's one that's called like a bunch of satisfying dings coming up, and it's something like a get to 80% completion without dinging more than half of the objects in the stage. And I don't know if y'all have seen the autocomplete that we've gotten for some of these objects, but that actually seems really difficult. Like, some of these achievements are not pulling punches. They really want you to learn these levels inside and out. I imagine you can probably get it easy on one of the earlier levels, and there's probably like a bunch of exploit videos showing how to do it. But if you were just achievement hunting, that sounds like a nightmare. Like, achievement hunting in the days before the internet really was something else, huh? People would put up with any amount of just straight up lies in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, they'd be able to get a Mew. Much like the wild dad, I am fixated upon cleaning this deck. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't think this is mud. I do think that Bigfoot are coming by and throwing poop at this person's home. Or if not Bigfoot, then at least some local teenagers with some real weird problems. I don't know necessarily what those problems would be, but probably shouldn't look like this when it comes out of their body, huh? They were the ones who said it was real smelly mud, not me. Bigfoot don't much like them. Well, I mean, would you like someone who came into your house explicitly to hunt you? Like, to take photos of you to post on Instagram? I wouldn't want that. Like, legitimately, I would react exactly like this if someone came into my house and was like, hey, can I take some photos of you so that I can, like, get really, really famous in anthropological circles? Like, no, I want to be the one getting famous in anthropological circles. Maybe Bigfoot wants to be the one to document his own existence, and everyone else is always just trying to, like, take fucking candid photos of this guy. It's messed up. Anyway, I am still waiting on those Bigfoot facts from my current boss. I don't know why he's holding out on me. I am definitely being held out upon. Alright, green nozzle, help me get this done a little faster. Yeah, mouse waggling. of wish I could power wash the bark off the trees. I think that would be a great detail if you could just draw stuff on the trees by just blasting the bark off with, like, the heaviest duty nozzle in your kit. It would be a little mean-spirited to the trees, maybe, but also, I think it would be an incredible visual effect. Plus, they're digital trees. They don't care what happens to them, I don't think. If they do, then I'll stand corrected. But as far as I'm aware, digital trees don't feel anything. Not since the Digital Flora Limitation Act of 22-22-22. Had to get rid of the screaming coconut trees somehow. These chairs look pretty uncomfortable, I gotta say. I start to get uncomfortable after about 10 minutes of, like, sitting on my tailbone. And that's when I have a cushion underneath me. I can only imagine what it would be like if I had a block of literal wood underneath my tailbone instead. Outside of these fences are going to be a real problem. I'm probably going to have to go back through with the scaffolding. It's going to be a real pain. But hey, it's why they're paying me just a ridiculous amount of money per object to clean this house. That and the Bigfoot hazard pay, of course. You should always charge Bigfoot hazard pay, even if you don't believe he exists, you know? You're going to be working in circumstances where your client insists there is a Bigfoot, and Bigfoot is a creature that could present a clear and present danger to your life, then you should be paid for working in that environment, irrespective of if Bigfoot actually exists. No, it's just basic work sense. Hazard pay isn't because you've been exposed to a hazard, it's because there's a potential of a hazard. And Bigfoot pay isn't because you've been exposed to a Bigfoot, it's because there's the potential of a Bigfoot. Hazard foot. Yeah, that's when Bigfoot's wearing cleats and tries to step on your head. Or Bigfoot in a high-vis vest. Yours is a little more wholesome. I think we'll go with that one instead. I actually have decided I don't want to think about Bigfoot trying to step on my head in his big scary boots. I want to think about being friends with Bigfoot instead. You know? Just how it is. There's already so much violence in the world. Let there be love when you think of Bigfoot. Upper deck, mostly clean. I think I'm going to go grab the scaffolding and just clean the outside of these railings. Actually, I can just hop down onto the scaffolding right here. That'll do. I'm hoping the autocomplete on this fence isn't as fiddly as I remember it being, because I remember it being pretty fiddly. And it took me a while to clean this top deck railing. But again, it was so very long ago. Nothing much to say. I've exhausted all of my lichen-related topics, if I'm being perfectly honest. I hope the lichen can't feel this. I'd feel like a real schmuck if it came out one day that lichen could feel pain. I've done a lot of mean stuff to moss and lichen over the years. If it can remember any of it, I'm in some real hot water. Alright, I'm gonna put scaffolding out here. Oh, Bigfoot is almost certainly watching me. Bigfoot right now, I think, is trying to figure out if I mean him harm with my great powerful hose, or if I am merely another enemy of the moss like him. Because Bigfoot strikes me as an enemy of uncleanliness. He may have thrown poop at this man's house, but on the whole, Bigfoot seems like he would have to be pretty clean considering how fuzzy he is, you know? Bigfoot doesn't strike me as a particularly odious creature, even if some places call him the skunk ape. I think Bigfoot is clean. You can't prove otherwise. Like, if you want to tell me Bigfoot isn't clean, you're the one who has to prove Bigfoot isn't clean. I'm not the one who has to prove Bigfoot is clean, you know? You're the person trying to slander Bigfoot, weirdo. Alright. Oh, this window and window frame have not been fully cleaned. There we go. This one either. Gosh darn it. Happened the last time I did this map too, I'm pretty sure. On Sarnet even. Come on. I know it's somewhere on this frame. Yeah, the noise. All right. Oh, another messed up window frame. Did a bad job on these window frames, I must say. Well, I guess it's not a bad job if I came back and cleaned them afterwards, but... First pass on those window frames was pretty awful. Sometimes called Bigfoot because of their one big foot, kind of like a bear's. The other one's small like a cat's. You found evidence of this yourself. Now, I don't want to be a cynic, but do you think that might have been the paw print of the mayor's missing cat, Ulysses? And not to sway your answer, but there is a cash prize for Ulysses so that we can do the spring festival, I'm pretty sure. There is not a cash prize for Bigfoot. I repeat, there is a cash prize. If that paw print is Ulysses, possibly, I'm not sure. The mayor seems like a real cheapskate. But there is not a cash prize for big feet. Unless you're selling photos of that boy to WikiFeet or something. Which would just be crass and disrespectful to the skunk ape, I think. I will give you a coupon for a free dilly bar. Good at your local Daryl's Queen. I'm pretty sure that's in line with the sort of stuff that the mayor would offer, at least. Like a dilly bar and maybe a bottle of water. I don't know, the mayor just seems like a real cheapskate. Seems like he's probably spending all of his money on his volcano drills and his golf course. Like if I had to guess the two things that all of the town budget is going into, it would be the volcano drill or the golf course. And I'm quite honestly not sure which one would cost more money, because golf courses can be hella expensive. Golf courses get, I would say, worryingly expensive. And they're always unethically expensive. Never forget that. Yeah, the golf volcano drill is pretty bad, but we have no proof that's the mayor's. I washed all of his we have no proof that was the mayor's. It was the mayor's aide that asked us to do that job. So really, like, it could have been anyone. You know? It just happened to be the mayor's aide. You know, the guy who does things for the mayor. The guy who gets things done for the mayor. You know, that mayor's aide. Oh, wait, I'm starting to get it. Uh-oh. I think we might be in trouble. I just know for a fact that area at the middle point of these stairs would be like where all the nastiest chunks that came off of this deck would be pooling as they sort of like flow down into the forest. And I'm just imagining the sort of visual of that, and it's truly awful. It's distracting even, just to envision the sort of dirt river that is not simulated. I think I've taken a 180 on the sort of like dirty water, dirt river mechanics. I'm actually kind of glad the game had a little bit of restraint on them, because they easily could have not, and I think it would have made the game a lot harder for a lot of people to run and a lot grosser, just in general. Also, just gonna do some casual fucking power washer parkour. You know how it is. Alright. Alright, go get more scaffolding for the deck. Come with me. Such a heavy noise. What a convenient place for that tree to grow so that they can put that spiral staircase there. Like if that spiral staircase, if that tree hadn't grown basically perfectly where they needed it to, they just wouldn't be able to have that piece of architecture. This treehouse is kind of ridiculous, if I'm being honest. What's this lantern possibly going to tap for power? Does that tree have a power conduit in it? You just, harnessing the bioelectricity of the tree in order to light your way. I don't think that tree is gonna produce enough voltage for you to be able to see at night, buddy. But who knows? I'm not a botanist, I'm just a power plant. I've only got a voltage control chip, or whatever. See if we can get a little closer. Closer? There we go. Now this is true railing washing. The unparalleled thrill show gameplay that you were seeking. You'll have to ding eventually. I know you will. Yeah. Right. Scaffolding a little. I gotta say, when I'm not trying to vainly and futilely parkour at the outer edge of these railings and whatnot, and I actually just stand on the scaffolding and clean them like a normal person, things tend to go a lot faster. I feel like I'm making a lot better time as compared to my first time through this level. Just by virtue of the fact that I'm not trying to jump up trees in order to actually hit all of these railings like I usually do. Who would have fucking guessed? Alright, I think the other side's probably still dirty. Let's find out without looking. Come on, let me... There we go. I was correct. It is completely filthy, and I didn't even need to check. I do want to know where I'm missing on this other railing, though. Oh. Just that bit there. Or am I missing, like, the other half of these? Well, maybe it's the inside for once that I'm actually missing. Yep. Here I am cleaning the outside feverishly, wondering why it's not giving me the ding, and then the entire inside of the railing is still just, like, disgusting and awful. My bad. Listen, I cleaned the outside part. That's the part that people can actually see, so I think you should just pay me and let me leave. Disgusting. There's really nothing else to call it. It is truly stinky. At least these railings are visible from lower parts of the deck. Gub, I thought you were made out of light. Where did you get all these dirty clothes to shove in your closet? How do you dirty clothes? Are you just, like, burning them? Because you're made of lasers? Oh. A collection. Is that why all of the closets on the ship smell kind of weird? Because you have slop-covered clothes in all of the closets? Like, how many of the closets have you put slop clothes into exactly? If I may be so bold as to ask a girl about her slop. Sweater with added grape jelly, huh? That's vile. I don't like how the game calls this a research table, as if any of what happens out here could possibly be considered research. It's simply not. Leave Bigfoot alone. This isn't research, this is harassment. That is absolutely not the same thing. Yeah. I'm gonna mod this game, so this is called the harassment table, and instead of being empty, there'll just be a single air horn on the very top of it. And that's what'll make it a harassment table instead of a research table. Come on. There we go. Oh boy. We're inching ever closer to a new power washer, everybody. A professional grade power washer. Something we can really write home to Mama about. Won't that be just swell? Pretty soon I'll be done with railings, I hope. Because railings are my least favorite part of this job, quote unquote. I say as if I get paid to play Flower Washer Simulator in the real world. That would be the dream. Wait, what am I saying? I own a multi-quintillion light-year dog commune. I can just wash the dog commune when I get bored. I'm sure there's like entire planets covered in Bigfoot mud for me to go just clean. But that's work. Hi, Flex. We're cleaning a Bigfoot Truther's treehouse. And just hanging out, you know? Some days, you know, you're doing really cool work, helping the mayor cover up his volcano crimes. And then other days, you're helping a Bigfoot Truther clean the, strangely smelly mud off of their house. The angelic house. You'll have to be more specific than that, because I'm pretty sure there is, oh, the one with Enochian on it, right. That one's a good one. I like the spray paint secrets, where if you use like a light pressure washer, you can uncover spray paint to look at. Sorry, putting sweatpants that they've slid through Is that why it makes squishy noises when I lay down? Like, more squishy noises than normal? Because I make a certain number of squishy noises when I lay down in my bed, and I've been making more than normal lately. And I thought that might have just been because of the temperature causing it, you know, molecular decoherence or something. Gub? You trying to get me, ants again? Like, what's up with that, Gub? Also stuck between upgrades. Sounds like someone purchased soap. Classic rookie mistake. If you want to win PowerWasher Simulator, simply do not purchase soap. It's a trap. Oh, then yeah, no, you're just gonna have to suffer on the mold for a little bit. If you haven't been buying soap or soap nozzles, then there's really nothing you can do except grin and bear it until you get a better power washer. Ah, the money but not the stars. Yeah, I've never had that issue before. Usually because I do like the smaller jobs before I do the larger jobs, so I don't think I've ever really run into that as a problem before. So I'm sorry I can't give you any advice there, you goddamn speedrunner. Out here like the fucking Colorado Rapids, fucking blazing through this game at top goddamn speed. I love how many natural attractions there are where the draw of them is just they're kind of dangerous. Like whitewater river rafting, like the whole point of whitewater river rafting is that it's kind of fucking dangerous. And a lot of the places where whitewater river rafting is considered best, or there's considered like a wonder for it, you know, is somewhere where people just straight up die sometimes. Colorado seems vaguely proud of the fact that sometimes people just die in their river. Also basic washer, nothing else. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know why it's being so difficult for you then. Can I get up a little higher on this deck? Get a better angle on these slats, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Give me that ding. Give me the ding. for this joist. Yeah, there we go. Alright, now we're getting to the stuff that's closer to ground level, and I couldn't be happier because I really hate playing with the scaffoldings in this game. They're such a pain to move around. Legitimately, they're the one thing about this game that I would call not good. Everything else feels really nice and sounds really nice and looks really nice too. I lament the lack of music in this game, but it's mostly just because if it was just my voice and the whooshing of the power washer, I would be falling asleep even harder than I am right now. Let me tell you, this is a very honk shoe sort of stream. Very snork me 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 kind of stream. A real Snur's kind of stream, even with Bigfoot. Yeah, that's the problem. This isn't the Bigfoot from like the indie horror game that will like come out of the woods and bite me on the Krungus if I cause problems, you know? This is the skunk ape. This is the missing link. The missing link, I would say, is like the least threatening of the Bigfoots. Because the missing link is it's not even just some dude who decided to live in the woods. It's some dude who never evolved like an alligator. You know? I'm more powerful than most modern humans, let alone unevolved humans. So the skunk ape I could probably actually take on if I'm being all that honest. True Bigfoot. The truly violent big feet. I don't know. This Bigfoot definitely, because this Bigfoot, it might just be the mayor's cat also. Like, pretty strong suspicion at this point that it's just the mayor's cat. But I'm not gonna say that to the person who pays my power washing paycheck, you know? Gotta get that bread somehow. Sometimes you gotta be dishonest to get that bread. As long as you know where the true limits of your integrity lie, well, you can lie to a Bigfoot truther all day long. They deposit their scat in bundles, much like a wild hog, with which they apparently share an identical diet. Hoss, I don't mean to sound rude here. Is it possible that you're just playing with pig poop? How do we, let me rephrase. I don't want to sound like a skeptic here. How do you tell Bigfoot poop apart from bundles of hog scat, huh? I bet there's a real nuanced process, huh? I need to get better clients. Less weird clients. honestly surprised that our employer has the time to talk about Bigfoot when you can obviously hear that we're surrounded by a much more mythical creature. Birds. Because everyone knows that birds aren't real. Like, that's just straight up a lie made up by the government to cover up the fact that they've got drones in the sky basically constantly. Like, birds aren't real and never have been. The Emu War was actually a interdepartmental dispute in the CIA. It had nothing to do with birds being real. Nothing at all. Alright. Gotta be careful not to break this grill. I hear they're very expensive. You wouldn't believe. Alright, I'm probably going to have to scaffolding to get the outer edge of these railings again. Big sigh. Thank you for the offer, but I am not currently doing any co-op or multiplayer or anything. That's not really particularly something I'm interested in doing for these streams, because I'm just not. I'm honestly surprised that this game ever got co-op. For some reason, this seemed like one of those games where there was a hefty chance that co-op would just be that one of those things where the devs just never agreed to make it, basically. Like, there are some games that I've played where, like, it seems like they'd be really well suited to multiplayer, but then you actually bother the devs about it, or you ask the devs about it. You should never bother the devs about it. But you ask the devs about it, and then they basically just reveal, like, yeah, no, if we wanted to add multiplayer, we'd have to recode the entire game from scratch. And this game seemed like it could have been one of those games until out of nowhere one day they just started dropping screenshots of them working on the multiplayer. It was funny too, back in the very beginning, they literally just had you modeled as your character's hitbox. So you kind of just looked like a peanut. And all the early GIFs are literally just peanuts floating around in empty space with power washers floating in front of them. I think they also showed off VR, and I don't know if they ever actually continued on with VR support for this. Because they showed very, very early footage of them getting it to route to a VR headset. I don't know if they ever actually pursued that. I don't think there's been any news on it since then. Pretty sure they've just been focusing on actually, like, getting the final release of the game out, you know? I ever actually... Yeah, no, I didn't actually get the rust off this grill. That's right. Maybe the real reason they can't spot Skunk Ape is because the guy's fucking terrified of the active volcano that's just constantly rumbling the ground in the region. Like, are there any Bigfoot truthers out there who think that Bigfoot is severely affected by seismic activity? That seems like an underexploited niche of Bigfoot conspiracy theories. Like the sort of underground Bigfoot, the mole man Bigfoot. The carnivorous underground humanoid Bigfoot. I'm sure there's like a schlocky 80s C movie somewhere out there about how Bigfoot is like secretly the missing link between human and mole rat and not human and ape. And also, you know, because it's a schlocky 80s slasher film, that link between Bigfoot and mole rat probably kills people, but... You know, those films were nothing but imaginative. Rather, nothing if not imaginative. I misspeak a lot saying that things aren't a thing they are when I mean the other fucking thing. This goddamn grill. There we go. You know, if something's not working in your favor, just start swearing at it. Don't make me start swearing at you too, barbecue side table. Come on. Okay, where in the fuck on this thing actually? It's still dirty. Wait, is there really like a gap into the bottom of the propane cylinder? That seems... Okay, that's just a visual texturing thing. It's not an actual gap. I'm gonna say, that seems a little bit cruel, no? Alright. And the barbecue drum should be good. So, there we go. Good fucking god. Alright, we're done with the goddamn barbecue. I sort of just became acutely aware of the point where those trees become textures instead of actual trees. And now that I can see it, it's actually kind of bothering me to have it on screen. there's just kind of a vanishing point where you can just sort of tell it goes from being a JPEG to actually being trees. Yep. Yeah, no, they... Oh, dear. Yeah, they let you get right up close to that, huh? Yeah, fucking Detroit become JPEG with the goddamn skybox over there. Like, you know, I'm not expecting a huge amount of visual fidelity from the skyboxes in this game, so it's not like I'm gonna ding it review points in my imaginary review for that, obviously, but that's very, it's just very noticeable once you see it, you know? I'm not gonna be able to ever unsee that on this level. What we had to do before we had aiming mode, folks. Just walk back and forth. Sometimes if we were really unlucky, we just did this. Doesn't that suck? Miserable way to play this game. Alright, last of that railing. Now we're making some good progress. No visitors. Oh, that's why you're not gonna see Bigfoot, dude. You got a sign up saying no visitors. Bigfoot can read, you know? All these, like, warning, no trespassing, private property signs are gonna scare Bigfoot off before he ever gets close. Like, what are you thinking? Come on. Actually, you know what? This bear is saying, you know what, bud? You're gonna catch a ban for that. Actually, don't. This goes for everyone. Yes, PowerWash Simulator is co-op, but this goes for anyone. Don't fucking come into my chat if I don't know you and be like, hello, I would like to be in your game. Don't do that. That's come on, it's disrespectful. It's not your show. Flex is allowed to do it because I know Flex and Flex is cool. Don't fucking come into my chat out of nowhere and just be like, hey, let me into your game. I kept looking over the chat history and I just, that bothered me. Don't do that shit. Oh god! Oh god! There are people. I'm sorry. Oh god! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Co-op's on. Oh god! I'm sorry. I'm being fucking bullied. I mean, co-op's on. If y'all losers don't have me added on Steam, you're gonna have to subscribe to fucking to my fucking loot crate to get that. Yeah, I got a loot crate now, and the only thing in it is my Steam username. Yeah, you wanna be in my game, pal? You wanna be in my game? I'll even go online. I'll even go online just for you. Never mind. Steam. Wow. Huh. Wow. Steam. Steam's actually very angry at me right now. It doesn't want to actually let me log on anyway. I think this game does have crossplay, but and yeah, it's a damn shame. Gub doesn't have a graphics card. It's weird, she's a visual renderer, but she doesn't have a graphics card. I don't know how she does it. Alien math, I'm pretty sure. It's really sad that there are people in this world whose computers cannot run PowerWash Simulator. Like, I think it should be illegal to sell a computer that can't run PowerWash Simulator at this point. Like, we already have universal Medicare in so many countries, you know? Like, the next thing that we need is universal power washer. Yeah, Gub is still running Flash somehow. Not like on her computer, like in her brain. Like she can just think about old Nitrome games and like I'll watch her eyes just roll back into her head. And she'll just start giggling about how she's playing Nitrome games. I should do a stream where I play some Nitrome games. There were some good Nitrome games. I feel like a decent number of Nitrome games I could probably actually beat now that I'm an adult with a brain. I would just have to find some of the ones that aren't like ass-bustingly hard. Because for some reason, some of the Nitrome games are just ass-bustingly hard. I think owing to the fact that they were being made by like a whole bunch of people. Or anyone in my chat tries to tell me that they haven't played a Nitrome game. Yes, you have. Think back hard. Harder than that. Yeah. You remember. It had really good pixel art, didn't it? Yeah. To be less facetious for my friend Flex, Nitrome was a game company that was known for making really high-quality Flash games. It's like really solidly designed Flash games with a good number of levels and really, really good pixel art. I think they mostly make mobile games now, and their mobile games are okay, but they are mobile games, so they kind of... You know, they have some monetization options that, you know, I'm not a fan of, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I suppose, now that Flash has been retired. But they make really, really, really pretty games with really good pixel art, and I think are kind of, like, foundational in terms of, like, Flash games, just in general. Yeah, I think if you want to talk about, like, Flash games, you talk about a lot of the stuff that was made by, like, JMTB02, and you talk about Nitrome, because those are some of the best Flash games out there. JMTB02 made things such as This Is the Only Level, and This Is the Only Level 2, and Achievement Unlocked, and Achievement Unlocked 2. And I think Achievement Unlocked 3, which never really ran all that well on my computer, because that was about the time when Flash started showing its age really badly. So everyone was making these super ambitious Flash games that ran like absolute shit. Like, there was a period when the super ambitious Flash games ran just perfectly fine, and it was all fine, well, and good. And you could have like a 30-level Flash game with character action combat and full motion cutscenes and full voice acting, and it would be fine. You know, Sunny ran great, and let me tell you about the Sunny series. Holy shit! But then there was just this period where, like, as Flash sort of saw the writing on the wall and knew it was going to be depreciated, people kept making bigger and bigger Flash games, but for me at least, they never started running any better. Like, they would get bigger and slower and bigger and slower, and my computer wasn't a bad computer by any means, but for whatever reason, like, they just wouldn't be able to run. And they would just be slow and sad. Nitro managed to avoid that for the most part. Nitro managed to keep their games well optimized and butter smooth. But, like, I don't know, I feel there was a tipping point where a lot of Flash games just started running like absolute shit for reasons that I can't really begin to fathom. My degree wasn't in Flash games, you see. So I'm sure in a couple decades you'll be able to get a degree in Flash games. That would be, I think, a good thing to have be your thing. The thing you're kind of weird about. The thing that you're so into it makes the people around you a little uncomfortable. Flash games. Just be, you know, being able to beat any Flash game just because you have the speedrun memorized because you're fucking Professor Flashwave video games. I think in about 50 years that'll be a viable career instead of just a personality quirk, you know? Here's the part of this map that I absolutely loathe. It's just cleaning out the joists. Because they're really big spaces, it's hard to see the bits of dirt in them, and it's hard to tell if you're leaving behind those little annoying fragments that at the end of the level end up mattering and keeping you from actually completing the level. This level is... This part of the level, at least, is the part that I remember, actually. I had this vague memory of this level being kind of annoying, and this whole time it's been gnawing at me, like, was the level really this bad? I don't think it was really that bad, but no, it was just the joist part that I was remembering. It's still going much faster because, again, I'm willing to actually use scaffoldings this time instead of being a clown about it, but... Alright. I think I have enough pressure that if I put on the extra long and just aim it straight up, I can use the green nozzle and get this done. Yeah. Apparently the scent of the missing link is very much like that of a muskrat, and they crouch right down when marking their territory to appear much smaller than they really are. It's not a muskrat, I swear. No, guys, where are you going? It's not a muskrat. I said it's not a muskrat. Guys? Guys? Why does no one ever believe me? Why does no one ever believe me about the skunk ape, huh? Though, you know, it does still beg the question who actually egged this guy's treehouse. Because I'm pretty sure it still was Bigfoot, even though all of his Bigfoot proof so far has mostly just been other animals. I don't think Bigfoot can compress. Does Bigfoot flatten out so that he can fit underneath the doors of good boys and girls to deliver them presents, or is that Santa for kids without chimneys? Speaking of Bigfoot, we fought Garangol. I was gonna ask what that has to do with Bigfoot, but then I thought about Garangol, and that guy is a lot like a Bigfoot, huh? Isn't he a fun fight? Don't you love how he fucking rocket jumps? I love how Garangol fucking rocket jumps. Like, that Donkey Kong looking motherfucker really is playing Quake while the rest of us are playing Monster Hunter. See, I didn't think he felt all that much like Brachydios. Brachydios was way less mobile than Garangolm was, and I honestly like Garangolm more. Like, Brachydios was a cool fight, but also, like, you can tell Brachydios was kind of their first, like... I'm glad that the auto mod stopped you from talking about riding Garangolm in my chat. Getting that thick Golm juice, huh? But no, I was a fan of Garangolm's fight, and I think Garangolm brings some interesting things to the table as compared to Brachydios. I'm a big fan of basically all of his weapons because they've got a ridiculous number of decoration slots on them. So they're really, really good for bodging together mid-game builds. Like, most of my mid-game builds were just a Garangolm Lance plus a bunch of other shit. Oh yeah? You wanna wallbang Garangolm until he drops his thick Golm juice for you? Yeah? My god, I'm gonna have to mark this stream as not for kids. I mean, it already is, but we're gonna have to, like... I don't know, I'm gonna have to get an overlay for, like, real sexy dog hours. you know, get a version of this model where every part of it jiggles and not just me. If you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, say no more. Okay, these joists... I never thought I would say this incredibly dad-like sentence, but these joists are pissing me off. I will say I do also like how Garangol is like canonically just a farmer. Like usually when we have a monkey monster in Monster Hunter, it's like this killer ape wants to murder your whole family with his dangerous teeth and explosive farts. But for Garangol, it's just like, no, leave Grandpa alone. Grandpa just wants to grow his plants. If you bother Grandpa, that is your problem. Why are you such a sick freak that you want to bother Grandpa, huh? Come on. Make the noise. Yeah! Wait, is Espinus a farmer? I thought Espinus just ate frogs. I honestly just imagine Espinus puttering around eating frogs and doing literally nothing else. Farms Hornetars. I'm wondering how you would even farm a Hornetar. I don't know what those eat. Maybe Espinus just smells good to bugs? Like he's a big avocado. Huh. They just drop honey. Wow. That's kind of wild. I'm a big fan of Espinus. They're just dumpy enough that I don't get annoyed by them like I do with Rathalos, because Rathalos, like, seems like he would be a real dick. Like, if I could talk to a Rathalos, it would call me names. But like Espinus just seems like it's there. Espinus seems like a big dumb baby. Alright. Time for this spiral staircase. Now you know this spiral staircase raised the price of this house by like 20 steps, right? Like this tree house is worth billions just because of this staircase alone. Actually knock back down to the short extension just so I have a little more area on my yellow nozzle. Actually, I think I want one up from that. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. It's all about balancing the area of water versus the pressure of the stream for optimal cleaning. Game's slowly but steadily turning me into a fucking dad. Pretty soon I'm not going to be able to Twitch stream anymore because I'm going to be so much of a dad that I won't know what Twitch is. Start making jokes about how that's something that a rat does. Even though that doesn't really make sense. It's not like rats are known for their twitching of all things. The angrier that you get about it, the more I'll insist that twitching is something a rat does. Because it's just funny to make you angry. Because dads like making people angry as a joke more than they do being funny. I don't know if working out is what I'd use. I mean, the dad core is functional. Well, we'll say that. It is fully operational. But I don't know if it's working out exactly. Get up this railing, get the top of it, come on, hop up. You know, I'm sitting here thinking about how what I'm doing right now is terribly OSHA unsafe. But also, I don't want to actually go get a scaffold and do it the safe way. Which has made me realize that in this moment, I'm part of the problem. I can't believe it. This game has brought me to a new depth of depravity. Sorry, I'm just too busy visualizing what it would look like watching these big old bits of mud actually get blasted between these steps. And I'm once again back on the fence about the chunk simulations. I think chunk simulations could actually add something to some parts of this game. I don't want heavy chunk simulation in the entire game, though. You know? So very close. You will give me the ding. You will make the noise. will not deny me, the dirt finder. Cannot defy me, not forever. Crud all along the outside as well. Once again, I'm beginning to hate these railings as I slowly slip into an ever-growing madness. Cleaning off railing after railing. That's the outer railing. Can I get these steps? Come on. Do it for me. Come on. Please. I need it. I'm gonna start crying on stream, everyone. This is it. This is the day. It's the day I finally have my big breakdown. I start fucking crying and screaming on stream. And it's really uncomfortable for everyone, and we all just go home uncomfortable, creeped out, bothered. And this bit would have worked if I hadn't just discovered a whole, like, top side of a bunch of these steps that are actually super dirty. I was doing that bit again where I just talk until I actually get the ding, getting angrier and angrier. But then I realized I would actually hurt myself because, oops. There was a lot more undone work than I thought. Sorry, spiral staircase. Alright. Clean this tire swing. Never quite understood the appeal of tire swings. They always smelled a little funny to me. Not really a big fan of the smell of tire rubber. I'm especially not a fan of, like, the schmutz that gets on your hand after you touch an old tire swing, you know? The tire glop. I don't know what they call it. The tire sole. Alright. Tire swing. At least this deck is at, like, the perfect height to be relatively easy. Just nice and close down to earth so I can just kind of walk along. And then to get all the stuff that I missed because of the low angle, I can just turn around and it'll all be fine. This is optimal cleaning height now. This is a delight compared to the other deck. Absolute delight, I tell you. Well, the benches here aren't great, but, you know. Could be worse. There we go. Those were the noises that I was expecting. Yeah! Ah, finally! I can feel again! I might have a problem, if I'm being honest. I'm fucking addicted. Ding. Ding. Isn't it such a pleasant noise? Ding. Makes me feel great. Like, the sound design in this game really is very good, despite all of my attempts to smother it with lo-fi music. Like, the sound design in this game is legitimately very good, and the only reason why it is as satisfying as it is to play this game. Like I've said, there's another universe where they don't actually care about the sound design in this game, and it isn't actually a Steam bestseller because they don't actually care about the sound design, you know? That was a good chain. Alternate universe where everything is the same, but the things are just fart noises. That would be bad. I think if they were splat noises, though, the game could see a second life as PowerWash Simulator, where you go around with like a gunk gun, and every time you fully re-dirty something, it goes splat. That could be an interesting April Fool's patch for the game. All of the levels spawn clean and you're hosing them down with a gunk gun in order to make them dirty again. PowerWash Sim devs, if you're watching, Gunk Rule Fools update, come on. Let us get gloppy. Let the Dirt Finder be the dirt glopper for once. Let me become that which I have sworn to protect against. A nasty lass. Come on. Yeah, the noise. All right. Barbecue side table, huh? What's that? This. You! Where are you still dirty? Where could you possibly still be dirty? This table is foul. Come on. We're as down in there as we can get, my guys. Ah, there. Hate that little fucking barbecue side table. What a nightmare. Alright. Apparently we didn't get any of these signs down here either. Alright. The roof trims. Oh boy. Now this is where we get to the part that becomes a pain in the ass. Alright. One roof trim. Another roof trim. Oh, there's the roof trim. Make the noise. Make the noise. Oh, wait. Yeah, I know what the issue is. Yeah. Yeah, it's the shelf. It's the shelf. There's grime on the shelf. There we go. Lower deck rim joists. Oh boy. We're getting into the real specific parts now. Oh. Alright, what if I went extra long with this? Alright. Lower deck rim joists. Only you. There it is. We're doing some house anatomy today, I must say. Okay. More rim joist problems, huh? Gonna reposition those cameras a little bit. I mean, you've already not seen Bigfoot so much, I don't think it's really gonna hurt anything. Alright. Is it on the inside? Yeah, the gunk was on the inside. The gunk is coming from inside the house. Alright. Is that all of the rim joists? No. This one on the tree is still. Is it? It might be back up on the deck. Back up to scaffolding I go. Getting a real goddamn leg workout today in PowerWash Sim. Alright. Upper deck joists, huh? I left 4 of those dirty? Shame on me. Now, I want to know how the client knows those are dirty, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because I certainly can't tell that they're dirty. Maybe they're going through with, like, the Bigfoot binoculars, you know? Getting real close. Joists. Alright. Gotta go back up there. There we go. That's all gonna be trees or something like that. No, huh. I swore that I saw... Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna walk around up the top side until I see the rim joist that needs my attention. Where is it? Yeah, I think Bigfoot's watching me do this and, like, giggling to himself, thinking about how much fun it's gonna be to immediately just cover this thing in dirt the second I'm gone. Like, I fully believe that Bigfoot is going to ruin this house the second I leave. That's fine, more business for me, you know? One of these many vertical house trims is dirty. Gotta find which one. There we go. And finally, pillar. I don't know anything on this map that would be described as a pillar. These are mostly trees. Oh, I guess these are pillars. I would call those columns, but whatever. Well, that's the job done. And now just play this in reverse as Bigfoot, again, he's gonna follow the exact same route that I did, but Bigfoot's gonna be shitting the whole time. Great. We've inspired them to continue their search. That's no good. Well, I think that's enough for now. Thank you all, as always, for coming out and chilling out with me. I hope you have a beautiful day, and don't forget to drink water, you know? It's important. Have a good one. Oh, and if you're not following me, follow me, coward. Follow this channel. I need followers. I need to make money. I need engagement. Ad revenue. Ad revenue. Money. Money.